Welcome back, guys. This is Abdurrahman Gilal, and in this video, I'll be explaining you that how can we use different, outputting text in Java methods such as printf or println. But before I go further, I would like to just simply extend further knowledge about this IntelliJ IDE in case that you are working for the first time. So this screen that appears is very simple one. So whatever is that navigation bar that we have, this takes, we click right here in the project zone, and then we have the source, and we try to right click on this source, and then we can go into the Java class. So now I'm gonna write, for instance, I'm gonna work on you know texting methods. This is going to be my class. The texting method is going to be my class. And you see, like, I have this written there. And in case that you feel that this, text looks smaller to your screen, and then you wanted to enhance the, font size. So the best way is that you go to the IntelliJ, and then there is a setting, and then you click on the setting. And on the setting, you have so many options available. So if you go to the editor setting, as we are working on editor, then you have font. So I have say 20, let's say you wanted to make it 25, then you say apply and okay. So you're gonna see the text is slightly bigger. So you can play further around on this. So just see, like, anything that you would like to do further will be available there. So do experiments, and then do let me know in case that you found something interesting and that you wanted to share with me. Please do not hesitate to drop me in the message or in comments. So let's start working on uh, our classes. So this is the texting method is a class that we have to be similar as this text, right here. So this has to be the same name, exactly the same name, because this is automatically generated, so we don't have to worry. Let's go further. This is what we have to write: public static void and main. This is very important and common that we have to write. And this is, you can follow any names that you wanted to give. So this is what we are ready for writing our program. So this is the fundamental unit that you have to have in your code before you have anything to be, executing in your compiler. So now, as I told you, that we have to learn two methods, which are printf and the println. So before I go, I would like to tell you that if you wanted to say that something that you don't want compiler to print bar or to work, but you just wanted to keep it so that you can just understand that what are you trying to do. So it is like call comments. So the comments is like always started with this forward slash two times. So if you have this forward slash, which means that one time is not an appropriate syntax, two times, that means now you can say anything that you want to say. For example, we are going to learn printf and println methods. So this is what I have written. So whenever I run my program, compile will not execute this. So if you have any error into it, it's no problem. If you have any grammatical issues or something, so it's not going to have any problem into it. It's just for your own understanding that you are leaving comments for your own sake, or in case that you wanted to share the files with some other developers. So it is best that you should leave the comment. So the good programmer always leave the comment. So this is this, like, if you have forward slash twice, this is called single line comments. So you're gonna say like this is method. So I'm gonna just single line comments. So for example, single line comments. So if you have more than one line, for example, now here, and as soon as you start writing, you're gonna say that you have error now. It's on the indication, because you cannot have. So if you have more than one line, so you have to go further like this. So you should write, this is my second line of comment. So I once again tell you that when you say comments, means you do not want compiler to execute. It will be there in the source code for your own understanding or for the sake of sharing it with your other folk developers. That's perfectly fine, but it's not going to be run by the compiler. So this is perfectly fine. What if you have more than one line? So basically you can go for the multiple line comment. So how we write the multiple line comments, that we have forward slash and static, and we have static and forward slash again. So now anything that you write here, anything that you write in between them, so it's gonna be, you keep writing, it's not going to impact anything, as we did here. For example, if I try to remove it, this is going to create problems. So easy way is that if you have multiple line of comments, usually what developers do before they start the code, they always have some comments like regarding the program. So they write like, in this program we will learn printf and println methods. We will be exploring escape sequences and format specifier, for example. So whenever you say that, basically it's gonna be there, and you don't have to worry that you should put so many other line of code. I hope it makes some sense, but it's just for own understanding that whenever you're writing the program, it's a best practice that you use the comment here that what is the purpose of the program. So that's for sure that we have to have these two line of code or three line of code that has to be there. This is our boundary that has started the class, and this is our boundary that started the method. So anything that has started later is going to end first. So it's called last in, first out. That's the approach. So let's now start writing. So then I'm gonna, in order to write, I have to write system.out because we are going to work on. So first I will try to, tell you the difference between printf and the println. So usually when we say printf, so what we're going to say is that we are going to say print formatted, which means now if we have any specific calculations to be performed in a specific way that we wanted to format, so it will help us to, do the formatting. And if you wanted to work on println, which is basically stand for print line, this is useful that when you have series of characters available, but you do not have any specific requirement for formatting. So that's what's going to happen. So let's just start from the printf first. I'm going to say this is okay. I should start like this. Then I say my name. I'm going to say Abdul Rahman, and now I want to go for the next line. So mobile number. So I'm gonna say etc or 1234 better, and I'm gonna say uh, you know email address rahman8abc.com, let's say. So this is what I wanted to print. So this is simple as that. So what we have to do is that when I print enter, so as per my understanding, this enter will help me to just bring it to the new line. So let's run the program. So how do we run the program? We have so many ways. Such as first is that we can go here and then we can start it writing the current file, and then we run the current file. So as soon as we run the current file, so you're gonna see this output is coming right up here, right? So right down there. So you see Abdul Rahman, that's perfectly fine, and mobile number, that's okay, and then 123, but it is not coming as per my expectations because when I wrote the program, I wanted to say like I put enter. So it's here in the source code, I can clearly see that it is on the new line, but in the console, it's not on the new line. So make sure the new line is not happening as the way it's happening in the text, in the source code. So what we have to do now is to make sure that we apply some specific formatting ways by which we can control that in one print or one println or one print f, we make the console controlled from our statements. So in order to do that, we have to learn this term called escape sequences. So escape sequences are basically going to help us, to control the flow of this string. So there are so many other benefits of it. For example, if you have some special characters that you wanted to print, so you're gonna be it's gonna be helpful for you to have them in your hands. So let's see, like now I'm gonna say like let's say let's run it and see like how can I control now this printing. So first is very important is that you have to have backslash. So when you have backslash and you press N, this backslash N stands for new line. So what happens in the console that it goes like name colon Abdul Rahman, and then we have backslash. As soon as we have backslash, sorry about that, so compiler will say something is to control in the stream of characters, which means that now it has to be having something on special request. So when I say n, so compiler knows \n means new line. And then here also I need to have the new line. And then definitely here I also have to have the new line. So anywhere that I want to have the new lines, I have to control my own sequence by my own way. So once again, I repeat that you could see that this color is different when we have written something like this and something, anything that is from the grammar. So, but when we have some string that we wanted to print on console, now backslash comes, so the color goes different. So let's run it and see like what comes up on the screen now. So there you go. So now it looks perfectly fine. It looks very clean that the new line is happening. But there is still a problem that you're gonna see like name and then Abdul is coming here. But when you see mobile, it's so far from here. And these two are interconnected because this size is fine, but I wanted to format it better. So what am I gonna do now? So here I should be printing. I wanted to say my name Abdul should be printed exactly side by side here. So what am I gonna do now? So like this. So this Abdul Islam is so far, so I have to bring it somewhere here. So how am I gonna do that? Exactly, once again, we have to use the format specifier, sorry, escape sequences. So now escape sequences say \t, which means a tab, 8 characters is space. Let's run it and see like if it appears better. Yeah, it's like slightly far, but it's still not reaching to the level that we wanted to print. So let's run further. So it's still going far. So let me run it twice, \t. This makes something closer to it. So if I go \t again, it's gonna create like far further. So now I have to make sure that I have my own formatting standards, anything that you wanted to make. So if you wanted to make slight like 3 spaces further, and then you wanted to do, so it's up to you that how you're gonna control it. So I'm not gonna go like how to actually organize this is you should be doing it on your own to see like how you can control this sorry, this formatting. So you see that, and you also share with me that how you control the overall flow of that. So this is a set of how to say escape sequences, but that's not it. We have other list of escape sequences. I'm gonna tell you each of them one by one, but surely be quickly, because I wanted to make sure that we, discuss as much as possible. So we have a slight number of things, for example, that you wanted to let me write first here so that we all, you know, yeah. So this is what I'm gonna say, like, okay. So let's say now we have learned that we have, sorry about that. Yeah, so we learned that a new line is for \n and then \t for tab and \\, which means that I am going to say that I wanted to print \. So sometimes in the text we have a requirement that we wanted to, print like some \. So print backslash, you know so when you want to print \, it's not easy to just print, because if you don't write a comment, it's gonna be like this, an error. So if you wanted to run the program, you will find an error because you have the skip sequence, but you did not finish it. So why? Because you have to remember that this double quotation is also one kind of skip sequence. So now if you run that, so \, is printed. So that's perfectly fine. Exactly the same thing. Sometimes I ask you to put your name into double quotation. So what you're going to do is that if you put the \, so it is not easy to be printed without, for skip sequences. So now when you have \, and then you have skip double quotation, so it will be printed in here in this environment. But if you don't write the double quotation, so it's going to create error, because compiler will think that I have something to stop here. So it will be thinking that this is something else is coming for me to input. So sometimes when we have inputs from variables, we will learn in the next videos, then we have to use some concatenation operator such as this plus operator. It says that we have more than one different kind of, strings or variables or type of input coming to be printed. So that's where we have to know that double quotation is very important to be placed. So let's say if I say \, and double quotation. So compiler understands it very well and it runs it fine. Let's run it and see if my name comes in double quotation. Yeah, my name comes in double quotation, and sometimes we have, let's say, some requirements where we say like, let's say I say, um, you know, um, you know, Abdul's class. Sorry about that. That's Abdul's class. So when I say Abdul's class, you see that we have problem here because of this single quote. So usually in order to keep the single quote, we also use the backslash. So yep, because of here, yeah. So if you don't have backslash, it's going to create problem for us. So let's run it. Now we're going to say Abdul's class is perfectly fine. You see here, we did not put the new line. So that's a thing that now we have new line here and Abdul's class. So you see like single code works like that. And sometimes you have something that you wanted to go and you wanted to drop it. So like, one backspace. So one backspace is that we'll go back one character. Let's run it and see like what happens. So you see in the class we have double S, but because I put backslash B, which will remove the last character that is available. So the cursor will be anywhere, so cursor will go back. So when it goes back, it cleans the how to say, it cleans the string character, one character only. So the last one is called carriage return. This carriage return is slightly technical thing that we have to understand, because in carriage return we believe that we want to move the cursor beginning of the current line. So how many lines do we have right now? For example, if I say this is my line number one, line number two, three, four. So when I put backslash R here, it has to go back here. So when it goes back there, so it basically kills everything, isn't it? So let me keep my backslash R here so that I believe this Abdul's will be gone. Let's try to see that what happens. So exactly the same thing happened that as I just discussed, because backslash R, any line that is there will bring the cursor to the first, on the beginning. So this is the beginning of the cursor. So I hope like this cursor is blinking right here, down there. So when the cursor is blinking down there, which means this is the place, sorry about that. So yeah, it was blinking here right just now. So every line has the first character is the first one. So if I put backslash R here, let's say backslash R here in the code, so somewhere here, so I believe that the email address will be gone. Let's try that. So let's try that. Yeah. So just put the backslash R here and try to see what happens in the output. So you're going to see that it's true that everything that was there before has been just vanished. That's how it works. The backslash n and everything that I just discussed with you has been controlled with the help of skip sequences. So we have certain number of skip sequences. So certain escape sequences that I wanted to keep it here for you in case that you wanted to practice, you should do that. So this is number one. Number two is that we are now going to work on println. So println exactly the same as we are working on printing on the console, but it's gonna help us to format many things in a better way. So how not formatting in a better way, I'm sorry, but helping us to print the string in a better way. So it has advantages and disadvantages in both of them, because printf is good for formatting, and println is good for having a straightforward string in the list. So you just place it. So for example, and but you remember anywhere the line happens, because this is just for the line. So when the line finish, it brings the cursor to the next line automatically. So for example, there is another one that's called print. Here I write, let's say, Abdul Rahman, and then I go and I take another one and I then print it out here, and then I write my email. Let's say my email abc@abc.com, and I run it. Let's see what happens. So you see here, Abdul Rahman email, everything comes in the first one. So this is making it confused. Why it's making confused? Because we know that we have, how to say, here we have only backslash p, we do not have backslash n. So cursor is still in the last, character here. So if I put backslash n here, so it's gonna help me. So now my line will be the new line. That's perfectly fine. But this one also comes in the same way, in the same line. because you're gonna see like, because I'm using print only. So now I'm gonna say println. So it's gonna bring it to the next line automatically. I didn't put any backslash n. So you see here, it's bringing Abdul Rahman on one line and an email on another line. So this is how it basically, from formates the output because of the new line. So ln means new line for us. So it's not new line. It says like print line. So line is like anything on the console. Okay. So now here is more like, as I told you, you're gonna see this plus here. So if you have something to, write like 1, 2, 3 plus 1, 2, 3, so it's gonna basically add everything together, and then you run. I'm gonna say like, okay, I'm gonna print a table for students. So let's say for the small, school kids. So I'm gonna say 2 into 2s are two ones are, I should be having something, and then two twos I should be having something. So I can make it like this so that it looks good. Okay, so perfectly fine. So I'm gonna just make it here plus, and then I'm gonna say 2 into 2, and I'm gonna say here 2 into 1. So let's say make it slightly bigger so that we can print it. Sorry about that. So okay, so let's print it until 4 just for the quick understanding. Okay, here I'd say it's 3, here I say it's 5. Then you may have a question for me that why we are writing it's after plus. Why are we not writing into double quotation? So let me show you first and then I discuss with you. Okay, so 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4, 2 threes are 6, 2 fours are 8. It looks fine. But what if your question come here? Then I'm gonna just bring this inside here and I'm gonna see like what happens. So whenever anything that comes in, sorry about that, anything that comes into the double quotation, the compiler thinks it's a string, which means just print exactly as it is. So you see here, so this one is basically, let me just finish it up. Let's just finish it up. Okay, so when you see this here, if you have any spaces after this double quotation, it's gonna be fine. So you see, when we try to just keep in double quotation, it's just gonna print as it is. It's not gonna print anything like how to say, like as a multiplication. And you have any arithmetic operation such as you have plus, minus, you wanted to print someone's salary based on their taxes, you wanted to deduct. So you cannot do that in double quotation because double quotation says this is string, and a string is like print anything that is exactly there. So now you have something like you wanted to fix it. So what you do is that you use this concatenation operator that's called plus, and then you keep any expression that you want. You can use this exactly the math equation as you like to keep, that you wanted to have this parenthesis, which means this is the prioritized thing that you have to have, and then you can multiply of anything. For example, you have some quadratic equations, or you have some complex mathematic equations, you just don't have to worry. You just have to use exactly as in the math city that you use. So let's do it first and bring it back in normal situation first, so normal condition first, and see what happens. That's perfectly fine. I kept this in parentheses. It's still working the same as it's working because we don't have any other operation after this parenthesis. If we had an option, so it could have been in different situation. But this is not going to work exactly in this format, in this so we can use these all the specifiers in here in println, no problem. If you wanted to go for new lines, you still can use, and you want to, for example, you use this in print, and you still use this, sorry, oops, yeah, I'm gonna say equals to double quotation and backslash n. So this one brings, a string back into the normal, because this concatenation operator says that you're not gonna add, but basically you're gonna concatenate the string. So two strings. So when the plus is inside, it's something else. When the plus is after double quotation, it says there is some concatenation, which means that you are going to add two different things. So if this is not in double quotation, it will be just helping us to, equate, any result that comes right here will be just printed here. So it seems like if I say, so if I say like this, So for shortcut, you can write SOUT and then you press the tab. So you will have this written in IntelliJ SOUT, or I do it once again in case that you missed it. So I'm gonna say like this SOUT all in one, and then you press tab and it comes here. I'm gonna say Abdul, and I'm gonna say plus, and I'm gonna say Rahman. So it means that basically just add two strings, right? So when you print it out, you're gonna say like this is all together. So this plus is concatenation. It means add the now, but it's not necessary to add only strings. But if you have any character that usually we represent in single quotation, because character is just one letter and string is more than one letter. So we will be learning this further when we are working in on variables, but just to make you understand. So you can press here like 2 plus 2. Now this 2 plus 2 means this one is for the concatenation and this for the addition. Let's see that. So let's run, and so basically, yeah, so it's basically going to just have the, because we don't have this parenthesis, so it's gonna do the first one is for the concatenation and the one is for the expression for adding things. So I hope it makes some sense, but let's quickly come back here. So now if you're working any specifier that you can also use in println. So let's see like if we can use the this printf in order to do the same thing that we have done here. Can we do exactly the same way? So I am gonna just copy this here. I'm gonna paste it here and I'm gonna change it here printf, and I'm gonna say printf, and I'm gonna say printf and printf. So as soon as I write here and I'm trying to run this, let's see if it works. So it looks perfectly fine. You see that we have everything normally happening and our characters work fine and our equation goes perfectly fine. And then, give me a second. And we have formatted our string as well. So I hope it makes some sense. If you got any confusion, any questions, so please do not hesitate to drop me the comment. I will, try my best to come back to you as soon as possible, and we can learn in a better way. Thank you so much, guys. Please take care. That's just a quick thing. Yeah, perfectly fine. Thank you. Bye-bye.